friends, and welcome back to Ghouls Night In, the spooky chat show with your best ghoul friends. I'm Penny Snark.
And I'm Midge Munster.
And Midge, I thought we should start off a fresh new year with another random thing that I'm afraid of and that really occupied my thoughts a lot more as a young person. We're going to talk about getting struck by lightning.
Oh, this is something that really freaked you out?
Yeah, this is definitely in the category of the, like, I thought quicksand was going to be a bigger deal, like, of things, because I was a Girl Scout, and there was just, like, lots of, like, storm safety discussions, and I remember my mom being like, oh, well, don't talk on the phone, like, we can't talk on the phone while there's a storm going on, because we could get struck by lightning, and I was just like, oh, man. I gotta have my eyes peeled for this. Was this not your experience?
No. In fact, I think I kind of thought it would be cool.
Oh.
I mean, there are parts of it
that's pretty cool.
Chance.
Yes. Well, we are gonna. It's been a while since we've gone to the science corner. But we are going to start by talking about how lightning works. And as with many of the more kind of esoteric topics I've brought, the answer is we kind of know, but we also kind of don't.
Classic mirror situation.
Classic mirror situation, classic dream sleep situation. But I went straight to the source on this one, the National Severe Storms Laboratory, Severe Weather 101, lightning basics. So, we got the good stuff. So basically, as I understand, inside of a storm, and we're going to talk mostly about thunderstorms because that is the primary time that we see lightning, but it can happen outside of storms. But there are different areas that are positively charged and there are areas that are negatively charged. And at first, they're kept separated by like the air within the cloud. But as they get closer together, they start to generate the electricity between them, and eventually it sparks. So if you have ever reached out to touch something metal and gotten yourself zapped, you have experienced the same phenomenon on a much smaller scale. Mm-hmm. And if you're cool enough, maybe you even saw an actual spark, which always makes me feel like I'm in like a movie when you like actually can see, yes, the static electricity sparking.
Absolutely. I feel like I remember that. Did you do that as a kid where you would like ruffle up the like sheets in the dark and then or the blankets, and then you would like pull your hands off and try to see the sparks in the dark?
No, I did not do that.
My dad and I used to like experiment with that to try to see the sparks. It was cool.
I did definitely would shuffle my feet on the carpet to go up to the doorknob and give myself a little zap.
Or like you do the thing where you try to get your friend's hair to stand up. Yes.
So we don't know for sure like how exactly parts of the storm get charged. So it has to do, the theory is that there's like micro pieces of hail that are knocking into each other, I think. So there were like multiple theories and like different like conceptual models, and I think if scientists can't agree on it, I shouldn't have to try to explain it to you. So we're just going to accept that
then we just put it in the magic category.
Yeah. I'm like, we'll just accept that this happens. Right. So most lightning is happening within the clouds, which are called cloud flashes, or creatively dubbed by weather scientists as CC, cloud to cloud lightning.
Whoa.
Pretty crazy. But as that like swirl of charged up air is, moving closer to the ground, we can see CG, or cloud to ground lightning, which is what we think of as a lightning strike. The most common type of strike is called a stepped ladder. So that's like, you think of like the zigzag pattern of lightning. And why that happens is that the charge like jumps in, they said like approximately 50-yard segments as it's moving down. And as it's like getting close enough, charge from the ground is rising up to meet it. And then we get that zap, which is pretty crazy. A lightning bolt has anywhere from 100 million to 1 billion volts of electricity in it. Crazy. So when that shock is discharging all that energy, it causes obviously a massive flash of light. It also heats the surrounding air to 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Whoa.
Yeah. So as we know, air expands when it is warm and contracts when it's cooler. This is why your tires lose pressure in the winter if you live somewhere cold. So you have this column of air that just got superheated in like 1,000th of a second, and it just blasts outward into the surrounding air, which causes a shock wave for 10 yards that then converts into a sound wave, and that, my friend, is thunder.
Ah, I've heard of it.
You may be familiar. I feel like I have like a deep understanding now of the thunder wave spell from D&D, because I'm like, yes, indeed,
Totally.
there you have it.
You're like, it's not just making a loud noise.
It's not just a noise, it's a big old push, a big push of air, a big boom. This, you may say, does not sound like something you would want to hit you. You would be correct. So as you may have learned, if you had lightning safety training as a child like I did, lightning generally strikes the tallest thing in an area, but not always. So there are a lot of different...
That's actually why you were scared, is because you were the tallest girl in the Scouts.
Well, yes, truly.
I know.
Truly.
That's why I stand next to you all the time, so that it'll hit you and not me.
So I'll get struck by lightning first. But you never know, because this is one of the things that like we don't quite know about. Like there's a lot of different atmospheric conditions, like the amount of moisture in the air, like the moisture stuff on the ground can change where it's going to strike. I actually, this is going to sound stupid, but I didn't realize that there's so much like lightning tracking science that's going on all the time. So there's just like a ton of like research and like predictions, and they can't determine like when or where lightning is going to strike, but like they've gotten really good at like knowing what conditions are likely to produce lightning. So I was like, oh, I guess that, because I just kind of was like, yep, this is just a totally random thing that no one could know anything about.
Like it be happening, yeah.
It just happens. But the reason that tall things are more likely to be hit in general is because it's creating like streams of like upward energy of that like positive charge that's attracting the negative charge from the sky. So
the thing is creating the energy. Is that what you're saying?
So like we on the ground generally are like, things here are generating like a positive charge,
which are pulling the negative.
That's
towards
pulling
them.
it down, and so because something that's tall is more likely to like make that connection first, that it'll then take its little zigzag ladder down to there. But not always. But that is, of course, why you should not try to take shelter under a tree or anything tall during a thunderstorm.
Or go out in the neighbor's yard and hold up a lightning rod.
No,
Victor.
Cannot. Don't worry, Victor shows up in here.
Does he?
He does. Well, I couldn't go without mentioning our friend, our pal Victor. Because I will say, since we're talking about trees, if anyone has seen a tree that gets struck by lightning, it can just fucking explode. Because it instantly turns the water inside the wood to steam, so it just blasts open. So I have definitely seen trees that have had like limbs and branches blasted off from lightning, and it is very crazy to see. Once the lightning strikes like a tree or a fence, the electricity does then like dissipate into the ground, and it can continue to move through plumbing, wiring, keep going. So it can still get you, even if you were not like literally struck by it. And something random fact, lightning is actually more dangerous for like livestock and quadrupeds than humans, because we only have the two legs.
Two connection points?
We have we have two connection points, so it's gonna like enter from our tallest point and then try and get to the ground, and it'll go probably like just down through your leg. But with a quadruped, because they have two sets of legs, it's going to go up the legs through the entire body and then down the other leg. So it's more likely that it'll hit like more of their organs, where people can sometimes like get off easy with it, like not actually like zapping your heart or something like that.
Also, cows are famously not known for wearing shoes with rubber soles.
No,
so.
It's true. Foolishly, very few cows.
Yeah. What are you doing, cows?
Yes, or I actually, I will say Wikipedia has like an entire list of like notable lightning strikes, and
Sure.
I was reading them and I was like, this is just depressing. But there was one fairly recently that like killed an entire like herd of reindeer. And everyone was like, that's crazy. So like it must have just like really zapped out through there.
Oh my goodness.
I know. But this is where I said lightning never strikes the same spot twice. This is not true. Clearly. It is statistically unlikely because, it just kind of happens sporadically. But of course, we know from our friend Victor Frankenstein that lightning rods are a thing. And some people are specifically, attempting to draw lightning either for, nefarious necromantic purposes or, skyscrapers often have that to kind of try and, divert lightning from more dangerous places that it could hit. But Midge, you said earlier that you thought it would be pretty special to be struck by lightning because it's so rare. And would you like to know what your odds are of getting struck by lightning?
I would love to know, yeah.
So in the U.S. every year, there is an average of 20 million cloud-to-ground strikes. According to the National Weather Service, they say the chance of an individual in the U.S. being struck during any given year is 1.2 million. And if you estimate that a person will likely live 80 years, the odds of being struck in your lifetime are 1 in 15,300.
That's actually smaller than
I was going to say, that is smaller than I would think. But we'll talk about this a little bit more in our little safety PSA at the end, but they do make the point that it depends a lot on, like, your personal risk
behavior.
level. Like if you are inside, you are much less likely to be struck by lightning.
Outside running around during a lightning storm,
exactly.
The chances increase substantially.
Yes. So not every person has the same just generic stat
Ratios,
of likelihood.
Different hit points.
We all have different. We're working on different stats. In the past 30 years, and so the data that they currently have on the website was last in 2018, so technically it's from like 10 years before now, but this is just what we have. But over that span of time, the U.S. was averaging 43 reported deaths by lightning per year, but in more recent years, that's dropped to like 27 a year, so maybe people are being safer about lightning. Who knows? But they estimate that not only, but 10% of people who are struck by lightning will die from it. The other 90% of people can have an array of injuries. How badly you're injured is kind of random. Obviously, it depends on how directly you were hit, and like we said, which of your organs were impacted as it kind of moved through your body. Unsurprisingly, a lightning strike can cause cardiac arrest, as well as immediate, like, kind of brain damage, just like shutting off, like, overloading the electrical impulses in your brain. Can also cause stroke, brain hemorrhage, as well as tissue damage and thermal burns. That is definitely, like, kind of the most common, like, even on, like, the milder side. are the burns. And if you have ever seen, like, I'm very sorry to everyone who has been struck by lightning, but like lightning scars are super rad looking.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they look like lightning, which is pretty cool. So that's a consolation prize. But there are definitely neurological and muscular damage that can last long term and even show up like in the weeks after you were struck, even if you didn't like have it right at the very beginning. And even if you were not struck by the lightning, if you're in the vicinity, you can experience ruptured eardrums from that thunder wave that we talked about.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes. I watched, one of the things I watched for this was a SciShow video about lightning, and I thought it was really interesting. They were talking about how there are lightning strike survivor support groups because it's such a rare experience that a lot of doctors like don't really know what to do to treat it, or like are unfamiliar with some of like the long-term side effects. And it's also believed to potentially cause psychological side effects, which is of course not that shocking, considering obviously electroshock therapy is a thing. Being exposed to great amounts of electricity can permanently affect your brain.
Well, okay.
No,
I know you, so I think the answer is yes. Are we going to talk about Roy Sullivan?
Right now we are.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Perfect.
Exactly. Literally the next thing in my notes.
This is something that is a weird fixation of mine, so yes. Continue.
Yes. So as Midge knows, but let me know if you knew, listeners at home, the person who was struck by lightning the most in recorded history was a park ranger named Roy Sullivan, who worked for Shenandoah National Park in Virginia, who reported being struck by lightning 7 times. And potentially also a bonus 8th time as a child that he didn't tell people about until later. So each of these were reported and recorded by the national park. The Guinness Book of World Records did recognize him as the most struck person. I will say some of the strikes were not witnessed by anyone else, so I'm not saying that it's not true, but in case you are like doing a dive on this, but he had injuries from various lightning experiences, so like it was definitely happening to him more often than anyone else.
Yeah.
Yes. In the later years of his life, Roy said that people avoided him because they were afraid of being around him and getting injured by lightning, which is so sad. His quote about what it felt like to be struck by lightning was, "Ever been shocked real bad? It's worse. Ever been scalded? It's much worse. It's like being cooked inside your skin." So that sounds not great.
Yeah.
I can't say that I would enjoy that. And
yet he kept walking around during storms.
Right, and he kept
I know
being,
he was a park ranger, but...
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like if I was... I think he also got zapped inside his house one time.
Yeah, well, I know he got hit in his truck, and
Yes.
they, like, claimed that his eyebrows burned off in that incident. And then there was, like... There's one recorded where he literally was, like, quote, trying to outrun a storm.
Yes. I know, I read that. It was crazy.
I was like, brother, if there's even a chance it's raining today, stay home.
Right? I'm like, I would never go outside again if I was getting zapped by this. And like, this is another thing where it's like, we don't know what causes lightning strikes. Obviously, there was something about him that
an extremely positive charge.
Yes, he was extremely charged. He was like, there must be some kind of mineral in my body that causes lightning. The other crazy thing is that he was the final strike that was reported. He was struck by it while fishing. He said the lightning hit his head, set his hair on fire, and he was trying to go back to his car, and then a bear showed up and tried to steal his trout, and he beat it off with a tree branch, even though his hair was still on fire. So I think that goes to show you
Roy Sullivan.
Roy Sullivan was like, I ain't staying inside. I'm out here getting zapped and fighting bears.
He was like, I'm a real man.
Truly. Truly,
Yeah.
truly. And his wife was also once struck by lightning.
Oh my God, I didn't know
While
that, actually.
he
I
was
don't
out
think.
there helping her hang out clothes, so maybe it was a good idea to stay away. I'm sorry, Roy. But we not to bring them up, but who knows? Psychological side effects. Roy did die by suicide.
This was why I brought
Yep.
him up when you said like it can have significant mental effects, because yeah, he did end up taking his own life, and supposedly had nothing to do with, like, you know, it was
Yeah, yeah.
supposedly separate from the fact that he had been struck so many times.
Yes, yes. It was not because of that, but
Right.
who knows what impact those strikes had on his
Yes,
brain chemistry.
exactly.
Yes. Yeah, so he is definitely a fascinating person and a very unique story. And a cool dude, it seemed. And I'm sorry for him, but
Yeah, R.I.P. Roy.
R.I.P. Roy.
You would have loved Frankenstein.
Truly, truly. Girl, you can't make yourself laugh like that.
I know. Sorry, y'all. I've got the flu, and I was gonna try really
Yeah.
hard not to talk this episode, but then Roy came
But
up.
then
and
Roy came up, and you gotta jump in when we're
the
talking about Roy.
neurodivergence kicked in.
All right. Well, before we wrap up, I am gonna let y'all know, how do you protect yourself from being struck by lightning?
Give us the deets.
As we've heard, it is not great. If you are a human lightning rod like Roy, I can't help you. But otherwise,
Yeah, step one, don't become a park ranger.
step one,
Step
don't
two,
be that.
don't go outside. Yeah.
yeah. Your best bet is to stay inside. Wow, great recommendation. It is also recommended that you not shower or touch water during a lightning storm or use anything that is corded, because lightning can zap right through there. Like we mentioned, they used to say not to use the phone. Obviously, people probably do not have landlines or corded phones. Today, there was actually lightning struck near my house as a kid, and it blew out our internet modem and also the garage door openers.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did
so
your
like,
garage door open, or did it just not? It just stayed closed and wouldn't open.
So actually, for many years, and I'm sorry to put my parents on blast, but for many, many years,
Sorry, snarks.
we would drive home, and then someone had to get out of the car and push the
and pull
door
up
up. Because my parents did not get the garage door opener thing fixed, so
Yeah.
they were just there to roll up and down.
There you go.
So there you go. If you are outside and are unable to get to an enclosed building, and enclosed is important, you should not try to shelter under like picnic awnings or like they said baseball dugouts. I guess presumably that is a time that a lot of people are outside, is a baseball game. I was like, this is specific. The top recommendation is to get inside your car and close
Unless you're
yourself
Roy.
in. Unless you're Roy,
it'll still get you.
zapped through the car. But if you are totally stuck out in the open or you're like out in the wilderness, I will say also the like lightning safety site is like really mad at people, and is just like plan ahead. Oh, here I actually
out.
let me quote this because it cracked me up so much. So it says, if you absolutely, in bold, cannot get to safety, you can slightly lessen the threat of being struck by lightning with the following tips. But don't kid yourself. You are not safe outside. So they are just like, it's like check the weather before you go. If there's going to be storms, don't go out. If you're in a mountainous area, plan to hike in the morning because thunderstorms usually don't happen until later in the day. And they're just like, stay the fuck inside, you fools, is what they're trying to say.
They're specifically talking to Midwesterners.
Truly.
They're talking to the people who are standing outside on their porch watching the tornado go by.
Yes.
Yeah.
But their advice, if you are a huge dumbass and you're outside during lightning, avoid.
Thank you, Red Foreman.
Right, pretty much. Avoid open fields or the top of a hill. Stay away from tall, isolated trees. If you're in the forest, stay near like the lower stands of trees. And if you are in a group, spread out because the current can travel between people. So do not huddle up. And apparently the recommendation now is maybe to crouch. I do remember being told to lay down when I was a kid, but this is no longer recommended because, like, if the lightning is moving to the ground, you're exposing more of your body to it. But most sites are like, it really doesn't make a tangible difference if you're standing versus, like, squatting. But if you need something to make you feel like you're doing better, crouch down.
This this list is reminding me of that video where she's like, don't make unnecessary journeys. Don't swim in the sea.
Yes, it's true.
That's the lightning safety website.
Yes, no unnecessary journeys during a thunderstorm. But that is my little science adventure and my advice to you for how not to be struck by lightning.
I'm going to do exactly the opposite of that.
Midge, no.
I'm the next Roy Sullivan.
Well, so, and I mean, he did get struck like the one time as a kid, but the rest of them were pretty close together, so
Yeah,
you still have time.
Years.
You still have time to become Roy Sullivan and get struck by lightning a bunch.
Yeah. The dream's alive.
Yes. Well, thank you to everybody for joining us today. I hope you all are going to practice good lightning safety going forward. But let me know if you too were concerned about lightning as a child or as an adult, and whether or not you too, want to be Victor Frankenstein with your lightning rod, or throw it all in and become Roy and become one. We are out of fresh hot reviews, but I do believe we have a Spotify comment to read today.
We do, and I'm gonna be so brave.
Be so brave, Midge. You can do it.
So this is from Emma's for Mila, and it says, "You guys are spooky magic. I'm now re-listening to the whole podcast because I just can't seem to find another podcast that keeps my attention and makes me feel like I'm hanging out with friends like this one does. Thank you all for the spooky laughs." Thank you,
Mila. Oh, that's so sweet. We love hanging out with you guys. And if you would like to hang out more, you can hang out with all the ghouls on the Ghouls Night in Discord. There is a link in our description of the episode if you want to join us, as well as in the bio of our Instagram, which is at Ghouls Night in Pod. You can follow us there for a cool pic that's related to the episodes. I don't know if I'll put up like a pic of Roy, since he's our bro.
I was gonna say, come see about Roy.
Yeah, come see about Roy. And if you are looking for me, you can find me at Penny Snark.
And you can find me all over the web at Midge Munster.
All right, are you ready for it, Midge? Do you
I
have
got my
it?
deep breath. Yeah, I'm ready.
Deep breath. All right. And until next time, good.